Hey, how you doing?
Good. I'm good.
That's good. It's funny. I was just talking to someone about this that when we started doing these Zoom ones over COVID, everyone was like wanted to say bad, but you just couldn't because that's not
Oh
how
yeah,
you.
true.
And now
Yeah,
it's almost like you can actually say you're good. Like there are worse things going on now. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. How are you? Fine. Yeah, maybe.
exactly. Yeah, it was a relief when occasionally someone would be like pretty bad, but like alive, so that's cool.
Yeah. No, yeah. Transparency isn't it just what you really need? Like,
You want to have at least some semblance of a connection with someone you're talking to, even if it's over a computer about a movie where you pretended to be someone, I watched you pretend to be someone. Like it's
yeah,
better
we
when
all
you
we
have.
all suspended our disbelief for a couple hours and enjoyed a story.
Oh yeah,
Hopefully.
oh I certainly did. And I think the fun thing about your performance is that I can tell you're having fun. You know, there's
Mhm.
there's an intensity that everyone has, but I think you maybe only in the cast got to channel it through. This guy is a blast, and like
Yeah.
is there probably in some scenes, but is he the most fun in the room, no matter what room he's in? And that's not a bad person to be in the headspace of. I could, you,
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I picked that up early on. And my dad, without mimicking someone, you kind of want to be that yourself. What's your version of that? Um, in the impression of this, silhouette of a man and all that. My dad has always told me, if you're not having a good time, it's your own damn fault. So
especially here, like I've that's it is shocking that so many people occasionally do seem to have a bad time. You're like, you're paying me to hang out with attractive people to pretend to do the thing I did as a kid for free. And then people tell me I did a good job afterwards. Yeah, that sounds like a bad time. Like it's there obviously are good movies where people don't have a good time, but I think when you can tell people are enjoying and people are engaged and it feels like
yeah,
or it feels like a party, the odds are in your favor the movie's going to work out.
yeah, they have. Thank God they have been. I realize that even if you have a good day at work, you're playing like heartbreak, betrayal, whatever. Um, it doesn't like leave a great taste in your mouth always when you're going home from work. You need to kind of flip gears in one way or another. But for this project, we just got to play music and feel what like playing music for 8, 10 hours a day. It was fantastic, and especially the music that these guys made. It's got a particular quality to it too. It's very visceral. So um amazing.
Every single person is playing a song that will be played and enjoyed until the end of time. So you already have that in your pocket.
Yes, that's true, man.
Like
You're in.
it's just banger after banger. But the thing is also you get to be in the headspace of everyone around was appreciating it too. Like it was this club you got to be in. And
Yeah.
and and Johnny Cash just gets to kind of saunter in and be like, I'm here for a couple minutes. This is fun. Everyone have a good time once I'm gone. Bye. Like it is just it there's a sense of cool that is evoked so easily in a movie about folk music where you're meant to be sort of hypnotized by that, right? And the movie does such a good job of that. You also get the
Mhm.
moment of, but there was also this guy who was he was a country star, but he was a rock star, even if we didn't really know what that word was. Like
Yeah.
this was what a rock star celebrity musician uh,
Hmm.
ideal of one, and I think he captured it so amazingly.
Oh well, thank you, man. Um, yeah, I you get it. I think I get it too. What this guy was. He was on the road like 275 days out of the year. I kind of know what that's like. I've been on the road for 10 months a year for 13 years.
Yeah, you hear about that stuff, and it's
Yeah.
you don't realize you have to like what you do. You have to get a kick out of going on the stage. You have to get a kick out of performing because, you know,
Mm.
otherwise, what are you gonna get a kick out of the hotel? You're gonna get a kick out of a TV dinner. Like there's just if you're
Yeah.
not enjoying the high, the rest of it's not going to work. And I think it's such a clear depiction of how
Mhm.
much he enjoyed the high and how much like Bob Dylan looks at that guy and goes, wait, that guy's having an amazing time. Why am I not having an amazing time? There's
Mhm.
like connection you guys have that I don't think anyone
Mhm.
thought about that. I don't think anyone going in this movie thought about, I'm gonna think about Johnny Cash a lot when this movie's over.
Well, yeah, and leave some mud on the carpet. You got to stare at it afterwards.
Oh yeah. No, and
Uh,
it's
yeah.
incredible.
Well,
What
that's
is,
so kind of you,
oh,
Joey,
yeah.
man. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I think to do it with, with Jim, who have experience with, but also
Mhm.
has made the Johnny Cash movie. Like he's done it. Like
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a big thing too, right? Obviously, I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for Jim and our relationship. And um, whatever he sees in me to do this, I trust him to that he knows what he's doing because of his precursor with doing Walk the Line and Joaquin's amazing performance. And that was that. And this is something different. This is a different era that we haven't seen in Johnny's life. So definitely felt that
hmm.
um, there was space in the locker room for me to build my own thing.
And to have the trust to do it. Because obviously you
Mhm.
don't do what you've already seen. You don't want to do that with any role, let alone one that you would obviously not be able to do. Not you personally, but anyone. No one can do that same thing again, or basically do Johnny. You have to do what's my version of this character. If he wasn't Johnny Cash, it was just on the page. How do I see this guy at this point in his life? And I think
Mhm.
that's why you then feel like it's Johnny Cash because it just feels like, oh, what would this feel like? And that comes over the audience, and there is space for that. I don't think people want to see the same thing over and over again. The only time I want to see that is sports. I want my players to be good over and over.
Well, yeah, hopefully you want your actors to be good too. And I think we've got a pretty good group, man. And Jim is, you know, he is not just the director. He is the producer and writer. He's, I don't know how he's not. If you can be nominated for best film, I don't know how you can be not nominated for best director because he's the guy who sets the stage for all this to happen and is the orchestrator of it. So it's really a hats off to him to be able to for it to be different for you.
And he's fought the battles to get where he is and to do it his way. Like
Mhm.
listen, Copland's one of my favorite movies, but that was a battle for him to get made. And I'm sure he's thrilled people love it, but he also looks at that and goes, I made a slightly different movie at the time and had to fight over it. But I don't think you get to this without doing that. I think there is such a confidence into make this like a vibes movie, which is incredible that a Bob Dylan movie is a vibes movie as opposed to trying to explain the unexplainable.
Yeah, we've talked about that during press. Like even Bob's genius is like he doesn't want. I don't care what it means, man. It's like the wisdom of a 20-something-year-old kid to say that, and like, what does it mean to you? What kind of feeling does it give to you? It's not my purpose. He's not really interested in finding out the answer to everything. He sees how like irrelevant that is. Um, it's pretty great.
And it's a connectivity for an actor, I think. I don't think you need to necessarily tell me how it is. You want me to and the audience to engage with the work. And if we have questions afterwards, if we want to talk about it, that means you did something right. You don't want to hear, well, what's for dinner after you watch a performance of yours. That means you failed, right? But if someone says, wait, why did you're like, I got them. They have questions. I got them. And that's Bob Dylan in a nutshell. Like I've been giving you songs for 50 years. I've given you the tools. Figure out what you want it to be. And whatever you think it is probably right, and then just leave me alone. Like is such a
Well, it's right for you, right? And it's different for somebody else. So that's yeah, he's tapped in on that.
oh yeah. And I think you kept tapped in with Johnny for that too. And that's why it's such a scene stealing role. And it's never you never feel like Johnny Cash showing up makes it a different movie. You're like, this is exactly the movie I want to see. And I think you're a huge part of it.
Oh, thanks, man.
Oh,
Yeah, it's he's I feel like it's you know, metaphorical implication of like how it gets weird when you're
Yeah,
not, and it's hard as hell to keep your voice in this game. And come hell or high water, be you.
exactly.
I think that's what he's getting across.
Totally. I think you get across incredibly. Thank you so much for doing this. It's always fun when you pop up in something with Jim and just in general. And this is such a fun performance. I was so happy when I realized who you were playing because I didn't even think about it, saw it and went, oh shit, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait to the next one with Jim, and see you down the road, Joey.
Sir, thank you for doing this, man.
See you, bud. Thanks.